So apparently the news reporter Tomi Lahren is at it again. She posted a tweet on Twitter basically referring to all Black Lives Matter activists as the new KKK. No, basically she believes that the Black Lives Matter activists are really not in it for equality, that they're trying to promote inequality but against white people with black people on top. I mean, if you look at what she says, she's basically nothing more than just a liar. Because I mean, it's like, you look at Mike Brown and you look at Trayvon Martin and Tamir Rice, and you see that we've been getting shot down and treated like dogs and slaughtered and had our resources stolen from us since the time we first arrived here in America. And it's like, for us to be saying that our lives matter, or please stop treating us wrong, or having civil rights marches and whatnot, for you to think that that's trying to promote inequality or genocide towards white people, you're really just lying, because that is not what Black Lives Matter is all about. I'm convinced that many of these Caucasians here in America are some of the most wicked, self-righteous, evil people on earth. I mean, if you feel like us chanting that Tamir Rice's life matters is evil and hateful and racist, then you're going to get what's coming to you on the day of judgment. He has shown us time and time again in this country that our life does not matter. I mean, you look at how the criminal justice system treats us versus how they treat their own kind, right? You look at that recent rapist who snatched that woman and drugged her and then raped her behind a garbage can, and how the judge was saying, oh, well, he doesn't deserve to do that much time. I think that would be too hard on him. You know, I don't want to put him through all of that, even though he just raped this woman and could have possibly given her an STD and ruined her life. Also, look at the father who molested his own 3-year-old daughter. I believe she was 3 years old, and the judge only sentenced him to like a minimum amount of time in prison. Either that or they gave him probation. But the fact of the matter is, had that been a black man, they would have crucified him, and they would have made him out to be some nasty ogre of a black man that molested his own 3-year-old daughter. So that makes me ask the question, why the heck do y'all get so freaking upset and so angry and so hateful, like you about to go off like an atomic bomb, when black people say our Black Lives Matter? We're not saying only Black Lives Matter. We're not saying that white lives don't matter. We're just saying our lives matter too, because, as I said before, historically in this country, our lives have not mattered to y'all. Y'all have thrown our babies to alligators. Y'all have raped our women. Y'all have enslaved us. Y'all have thrown Jim Crow laws out there. Y'all have lynched us. And even now to this day, y'all shoot us down like dogs in the street. And then y'all get away with it. I mean, y'all act as if y'all have no track record whatsoever of doing these despicable things to us. Like I said before, what the heck is wrong with y'all? Are y'all retarded or something? Look, Tomi Lahren, just go on and come straight out and admit it, okay? You're the new KKK. You're the racist, alright? The Black Lives Matter movement is not the new KKK. Let me tell you a little something about the KKK, or the Ku Klux Klan, alright? The Ku Klux Klan, they were known back in the day to round black people up and lynch them, and then have picnics to celebrate the lynching. Usually when a lynching would take place, conventionally, they would just, they would string somebody up and hang them by the neck, and then watch as they hung there in pain and agony until they died. And then they would leave their bodies up there to decompose for a little while. But there were some times where they would get a little exotic with their lynching. So what they would do certain things like with a pregnant black woman, for instance, they'll probably take her and they would slit her stomach open, let the baby fall out on the ground, and then they would take a hard boot. They would stomp the baby into the pavement. They would do stuff like that, or they would lynch people upside down, or they would castrate people and set them on fire. And no, the KKK, they did a lot of despicable, terrorizing, medieval, barbaric. What has Black Lives Matter done? What, say Black Lives Matter? March up and down the streets with picket signs saying no justice, no peace. while not actually doing anything to really take away the peace. I mean, those police officers that you're saying no justice, no peace to, they're going back home and having steak and country fried rice for dinner with their family. And you're going back home to the broken up household from which you come from, where there's tons of poverty or lots of your people being gunned down and no jobs, and basically the poverty and strife that black people go through in the black community. In other words, nothing's really happening. So you can't compare the two in your pride and make it seem as if it's so much hatred coming from the Black Lives Matter movement, as if they're the epitome of racism and hatred and bigotry that can ever be exhibited on the face of the earth. Especially when your track record as the white race has been that of genocide and murder and stealing from people and character crucifixion of people based off of race. Tomi Lahren, go somewhere and sit down. You know what? Don't sit down, okay? We don't need that chair to be tainted by your stupidity. Why don't you just buy a plane ticket, fly to the Caucasus Mountains, and move in with the rest of your cave beast ancestors?